It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago, and it's 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog the Scipio. This is America's Popcast. What's the buzz? Tonight, try to get rid of her, folks, but she came back anyway. Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, joins me. How are you, Amelia?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. I thought I was going to be by myself and have a nice, quiet night, but that ain't happening. That's
You're
not
funny.
happening.
You're funny.
What have you been up to? How was your weekend?
It was actually great for a change. I finally got my hot water heater put in, so I have hot water again. Yay.
Oh, wow. How long has it been since you got that heater put in?
Let's see, since I didn't have hot water by like 2 months, almost.
Oh,
3.
my God.
Yeah.
What took him so long?
Well, of course, the hurricane kind of backed them up a little bit, and of course, it takes a little time to save up money to put in a water heater because
Well, yeah, true,
you have
true.
to put that in, and by the time you save it up, because I didn't know how long it took to put in, how much money it took to put in a water heater, because the price of the water heater, installation, and all that, and I wanted to get it done right, basically.
Oh, yeah, you have to get it. You can't mess around with that kind
No,
of shit.
no,
You're going to have a much bigger problem
absolutely.
than not having hot water if you don't put it in right.
Right.
So, it's been kind of quiet. It's the holidays. My wife likes to go to Hobby Lobby.
hmm
She likes to shop. My daughter likes to shop. Willard's here.
Hey, Willard.
Oh, Willard, we're not even into the show. 5 minutes, Willard's here. Mad Dog, you probably won't believe me, but you ever heard of a podcast called Cody? No, you asked me before about that, and I remembered telling you that I really don't give a shit about any other podcast but this one. But
Oh, wow.
apparently the victims are stuck. Yeah, you know what? I don't know how much I believe that. I've heard that.
hmm
I don't know how much I really believe that, Willard. It's kind of out there, even for me, and I'm a conspiracy guy, and I love, like the psychic realm and the spirit, and because I am a psychic, that's what I do. But I don't buy that. I just it's not genuine. I just have a hard time. Let me address this too.
Right.
All week we're doing conspiracy all week. I don't know if and I've had this feeling before, but I don't know if I can get behind that because, first of all, it doesn't feel right. That's the number one thing. It doesn't sound, it sounds as bad as it feels, okay?
Right.
It doesn't, there's just some level of chicanery going on here. And I don't feel comfortable in that, speaking on that level with spirit boxes. First of all, you can manipulate, if it's a machine, you can manipulate it. And a spirit box is a machine. It's built by people. People program what goes in it. People program what comes out of it. So there's 2 strikes against the spirit box. Okay. On another level, look, we live on a multi-dimensional plane here. Okay. It was believed that we live in a 3rd dimension. Well, we don't live in a 3rd dimension. We live in a 5th dimension. Okay. There are 5 dimensions of reality. We know that because our generation lived through a paradigm shift. We call it the Matrix. We call it the Mandela. You can call it what you want to call it, but it's a time shift. And this generation lived through it. And that's what we're dealing with right now. We're seeing things that we've never seen before. We're experiencing life on a level we've never experienced it before. So things are different, yes. Um,
What if something like you were like not daydreaming, but like you were thinking to yourself, okay, you're gonna feel this, and then all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I want to see if I'm lived that before. Can you continue? And all of a sudden it stops. Like something stops you from
yeah,
reliving something you lived before.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Willard says, Mad Dog, have you ever heard of the Able Danger, which the MI6? And I'm very familiar with MI6, Willard. So you're speaking my language here. With the MI6 version of CIA telling Bush a year before at 9/11 directly that Al Qaeda would. No, first of all, that's not true. It's been proven blatantly false. That never happened. So let's make sure that we have our I's dotted and T crossed. Willard, it sounds fabulous, but unfortunately, my friend, that's not factual. I know this for a reason. We've had on this show my friend Robert, who is with MI6. That never happened. Um, you're talking about declassified documents. Well, it doesn't take much to classify or declassify a document. Let's be real clear about that. Do I believe it? No, I don't believe it. I know that's blatantly false. Unless you come to me with sizable evidence to tip the scales, then I'm going to call you on it. Because I happen to know that to be patently and blatantly false.
Yes.
Because my friend Robert was here from MI6, and he's been on the show a couple times.
And he's called people on ghosts before too, because you don't tell a ghost to breathe. Trust me.
Well, no, that's a whole different show, man.
I mean, no, but he's called people on a lot of stuff too. So
That's a whole nother show. Wait a minute. Don't even get me started with that shit.
Yeah,
Don't even get me started on that one.
Right.
That's a whole different ball game on that level.
But first, I want to say, before we go any further, I want to say happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. Thank you so much.
It is. Well, I was going to get to that. We were actually going to do a little something here. It is Veterans Day. Shout out to all of those who served in any number of the armed forces: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. Yes, the Coast Guard is a part of the armed services, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're not aware of that. So we don't have 4 branches. We have 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We have 5: the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and the Coast Guard. Probably the most important is the Coast Guard.
Oh, yes.
Because without them, we don't see them incoming subs and airplanes and missiles that might be headed in our direction. What's the word they use in government? Quelch. That's the word. They quelch the threat before it becomes a threat.
Oh, yes, they do. They
there you
are
go.
Like first in line, as they say, pretty much.
And I live in New Jersey, folks, so I'm real familiar with the Coast Guard because they're flying over here all the time. We've had so much. Pastor Steve brought this up the other night when he was on the show. He says to everybody, and I thought about that. He said, have you noticed how many military helicopters have been flying overhead lately? And he was right. Now, in fairness, part of it could be because both presidential candidates were 10 minutes away from here.
Yes.
That's possible. The other reason is the military knows something that we don't. And I hope they know something we don't, because that's their job.
Absolutely.
Their job is to know shit before we do, so they could squash it so we don't have to. Right? Anyway, let me go back to the chat. Let's see if Willard's still here, if he told me to go F off yet.
Nah, he wouldn't do that to you.
There's a disclosure document because 2 FBI agents. First of all, Willard, let me read this. I'm telling you, it's true because two FBI agents worked on the 9/11 event. First of all, there are no two people ever work on any one thing. That's the first rule of government disclosure. No two people. Remember this, Willard. No two people ever work on any one thing. It's any number of 10 or 12 people working on one thing. You're never going to get one or two people anywhere
No.
working on one thing. It's always going to be a team of 10 or 12. Why? Diversity and opinion. Fresh eyeballs. Okay? It's too easy. It's way too easy for two people to see the same thing. You get 10 or 12 sets of eyes there, they're all going to see something different, and that's what you want. Okay. I think I'm done with that conversation, Willard. Unless you got anything fresh to bring to it, we're going to pass on that. I got one for you. Hey, Willard, you know what? Why don't you do this? Check this out for me.
Leon's here too.
Oh, good. Leon, my boy Leon. Check your stuff out. Tell me what you think of this. I'm just going to let this play. I got a couple slides up here. People at home, you can't see this unless you're watching. Those of you on radio, I'm showing pictures of the Titanic and the Olympic, the sister ship. These two ships look so eerily similar that unless you know what to look for, it's real hard to determine the difference. So I want you guys to take a real good look at these pictures if you're watching us on any number of platforms. But we got some interesting shit here that's been brought to my attention. So, Amelia, tell everybody what we're looking at.
We're looking at pictures of the Olympic and the Titanic and how very, very similar they are as far as the windows, how close they were and how not so close they were. And then right now, it's like Titanic and Olympic and what was underwater. The ship sits underwater. And we have an arrow pointing to the windows.
Here's the $1 million question, Amelia. Mm-hmm. Here's the $1 million question. Which ship is underwater?
Well, from the looks of the windows, it looks like it's the Olympic, not the Titanic.
It sure the hell does. That is what's got by the way, this has got people buzzing so much to the point where there is a website dedicated to this whole conspiracy.
Yes.
It said, here's what it says. Did the Titanic or the Olympic sink? Go here to discuss your theories. And you go to, and this is a really interesting thing. I want people to listen to this. It's called social.shorthand.com/Titanic mystery. Oh. I'm going to say that again. And I've been there, and it's a really great site. It's called social.shorthand.com/Titanic mystery. If you have not yet been there, you got to go check this out. It's fascinating. It really, really is. Amelia, continue. You were saying something about this picture.
Yes, and well, the picture underwater looks just like the Olympic, not the Titanic, even though they say it was the Titanic that sank.
It really is fascinating. Here's the question I have. And maybe you can, because you're conspiracy-minded and all that, you know. Mm-hmm. Why did it take, I'm going to ask you a two-part question.
Okay.
Number one, why all of a sudden are we talking about this again? Number one. Number two, why did it take so long for somebody to point this out? Because you can look at that picture that we're looking at. You can see everything on the Olympic is exactly the same as the ship underwater. And the Titanic is very different.
Very, very different.
The windows, the biggest difference is the windows on the Olympic are not spaced evenly apart
They are not.
because there are wider windows and narrower windows. On the Titanic, all the windows are the same size.
Correct.
All of them are the same size. It's funny because one of the things when I watched the movie, The Titanic, when I watched The Titanic, I thought to myself, there's something missing here. They're not going. I was hoping that James Cameron, the
Right.
director of the film, would kind of like get into it, but he didn't.
There's too much too much open stuff that they left out. Like for example,
There's a lot of unanswered questions. Yeah.
Chase, Mr. Chase, I think from the bank. Oh, he was going to make a
Remember at
lot
the
of
beginning
money.
of the movie?
Yes.
Remember the beginning of the movie where the crew is there
Yes.
and they're talking about the Titanic and how she sank and
Yes.
and then they go into the movie, they go flashback. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
That would have been the perfect opportunity at the beginning of the movie to lay down, follow me here, to lay down the foundation for the rest of the film. And I don't think they did that. I think they dropped the ball. I think they really could have they could have ran with that. You want to talk about a conspiracy? Man, they had a conspiracy theorist wet dream in that movie.
They did. They put
but they didn't explore it.
They did not. Yeah.
Willard, and my boy Willard said, I heard they put the real Titanic with the Olympic and sank instead. Yes, here's why. Do you know why, Willard? Here's the reason. This is the reason. Interesting stuff, and he's absolutely right about this part. Well, partly right. Two people that were involved heavily in this were a guy named Mr. Ishmay and a guy named J.P. Morgan.
J.P. Morgan, yes.
Okay. Michael Ishmay and J.P. Morgan. Who was Michael Ishmay? He represented the White Star Line. Who was J.P. Morgan? He was the multi-billionaire financier who, interestingly enough, who survived the Titanic, okay, and died later.
Later, yes.
Interesting stuff about J.P. Morgan. Oh, you're going to hear a lot about J.P. Morgan. Here's the thing, though. This whole thing was an insurance scam.
They were supposed to make a lot of money.
They made a lot of money. Trust me. Amelia, they made a fortune. What did they do? Here's what they did. The Olympic was the sister ship to the Titanic. It was a much older ship.
Yes.
It had maybe one voyage left. Well, guess what? It ended up having one voyage left.
Right.
Okay? If you look at the Titan or the ship that's called the Titanic, if you look at that ship, okay, went down. There's a spot on the bow of the ship about 5 feet long. Okay? That's where you put the name of the ship.
Right.
Okay? What they did is they switched out the name plates for the ship. Every ship has a name plate. Some ships are painted on the ship,
right.
Titanic or Olympic or whatever. White Star Line would put name plates on. so they could take them off and refurbish them and put them back to make them look all shiny and new. Nothing wrong with that, except if you're trying to swindle people out of tons and tons of money.
Right.
The Titanic was a brand new ship. I will tell you that I believe the Titanic, the real Titanic, is still floating right now. Right now. And I'll tell you where I think it is. And you're going to think I'm nuts. I think it's in New York Harbor, guised as another ship. Because they were not letting that ship go down. There's no way that ship was going down. Let's be honest about it. When you jinx yourself and say, even God himself could not sink this ship, you're fucking around in territory you don't want to be in.
God's gonna, nope, you don't mention that. No way. No.
You don't want to do that because God's going to say, you know what? J.P. Morgan was jealous. He sure was. Tesla, the design. Well, no. Hold on, no. Tesla, the designer, and had him unveiled for the no. Not true. No, see, Willard, I have to stop you when you go off on these kind of tangents because we love a conspiracy, but only if it's a true conspiracy. Because we're conspiracy truthers, not conspiracy theorists. Unless you can prove it, it's just hearsay. There's no proof for that. We know patently and blatantly that's false. Because with anything you put up there, I'm going to call you on it because I have the info in front of me. Right. We do extensive research here, brother. You should know that by now.
And you did because you put the two ships like that together, and you're going to see a big difference like that. And back then, they didn't have like they do now, right? With the numbers of each ship and the black box, like they did, right? Like they do all of that equipment now, right? So that's how we were able not to identify which ship was ship until you put them together.
Because now, see, and what Amelia said is absolute truth. Now, ships have what's called black boxes, or what they call, in nautical terms, pingers. Now, a pinger, like a black box, it sets off a tone, a ping. So if an airplane goes down, if a ship goes down, this thing operates independently. It doesn't need any battery because it is a battery. Okay? And when it gets in the water, as soon as it hits the water, it goes ping, ping. It makes this ping noise, like literally a ping. Okay? It's like, think of the ship going down, and all of a sudden you hear a bell going ding. That's what you're hearing. They're hearing this on land. You're obviously not going to hear it in water because you just can't. But you're going to hear that signal. You're going to know where that signal's coming from because it's got a GPS on it. They didn't have that in the day.
No.
Willard, you're going to have to give me something I can work with, brother. Can't do it, bro. I'm sorry, Willard. I'm going to have to ignore you, man. I'm sorry. I hate to do that because you're a great guy, but I can't go on the air with that stuff. I just can't. Talking about death rays and stuff like that. It's just great. Yeah. Anyway. So Amelia, your thoughts again. By the way,
yes.
The picture we're looking at right now, that's the Titanic and the Olympic right next to each other. Tell me the biggest difference you see between them ships.
They look like twin sisters, but it looks like the one on, I guess it would be on my right. It looks like a bigger ship.
Same size.
Is
What's
it
the
really?
biggest difference? Forget the ship. What's the biggest difference? Look at the picture. What's not here? Where's Waldo?
I know, right? Let's see. Is it the pillars on top of them?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. I guess because from the side it looks different, but yeah, it looks like
The
the
ti-
pillars.
the
Mhm.
Titanic is on the left.
Oh wow.
The Olympic is on the right. The
I thought.
biggest difference, listen to me carefully,
Uh,
because they look almost identical.
I thought the Titanic was on the right.
No, 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 no. The
Wow,
Olympic is on the right.
that
Here's
is
the
me.
biggest difference. You can look at the Olympic right there and tell how old it is. That's
Wow.
a crane. You see that big
Yes.
metal crane sticking up on the
Oh yes.
Olympic?
I see it now. Yes.
They're working on it. It's being repaired.
Wow.
It was being repaired. The interesting thing is, right now, as you're looking at them, neither ship has a name on it.
Wow.
There are no names on either of those ships. The only reason we know that that's the Olympic
Mhm.
is because it's being worked on and we have documentation to not only to prove it, but to go back to that day. They have document. And by the way, take a really, really good look, Amelia.
Yeah.
Both ships are joined by a giant cable.
Yes, they are. I see the cable.
You
On
see
the
that?
Yes.
Okay. So people think we're crazy.
Wow. It's like looking at them, you wouldn't be able to see who they are. So yeah, you could tell. You would think that the Olympics. So, and then
Mhm.
looking at the one underwater, you could tell that that's the Olympic just by looking at the windows.
It's a simple, simple thing.
Mhm.
Willard, you're killing me, babe. Willard, you're killing me. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to block you, Willard. I can't do this, man. I'm sorry. Amelia, would you block Willard, please? I can't do that nonsense. That's crazy stuff. Um, you want to come on here and talk, sensible stuff, I'll do it. But we're not going to do Leon and Rosie. There you go.
Mhm.
We're listening
They're
from our day
celebrating
spot.
Trump.
Still celebrating. Leon, I knew there was a reason I loved you, you prick.
I just don't
I
understand
can
these
call Leon a prick
people.
and mean it because I love Leon. He's a great guy.
I mean,
Leon, let me ask you a question, Leon. Your thoughts, okay? Look at these pictures. Your thoughts. Tell me what you think about this, the comparisons that are all of a sudden coming out. Now, people are all getting behind the Olympic Titanic switch. They're saying, and people are, let me tell you something. Some heavy people are like listening now. Like one of the people listening is James Cameron, the guy who did Titanic.
yes.
I'm just going to let these roll because I want Leon and Rosie. Can't leave out Rosie.
Yes. You can't leave them out. They're both of them.
Gotta have Rosie in there. Almost identical. Now I'm gonna show you something there.
Mhm.
Check this out, Leon. Watch this, brother. It's gonna blow your mind. There you go.
Look at that.
Look
Wow.
at that. I'm gonna make this bigger. Hold on, Amelia. Watch.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that, Leon.
So identical, like 100% identical. Can't miss
They're
it.
almost identical. Here's the difference. Look at the pictures above. Look at below. It was very clearly noted the Titanic had evenly spaced windows all across. You can see that up top, on the top there. If you look at the picture on the bottom, the windows are not evenly spaced. There's a reason why. Because there were large and small windows. The Titanic had one size window all the way through. all the way down, the whole from stem to stern. Okay, and you're look. I mean, it's undeniable. I mean, I don't know how you can look at this and say, "Oh, well, that's it's trickery." You're looking at a ship underwater. Okay, you look at a ship it's under the friggin' water, for crying out loud. Anyway, what do you think of that, Leon?
Yeah, it's so weird. And then too, it's like then since the Titanic was newer, and they had like different types of rooms. Like some were maybe suites, some were just like maybe different type of like single rooms. It could have been something like that. That's why the windows were different too, because we don't. So
you know what's not different though?
What?
A word from our friends at Manscaped right after this.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we.
Your customers expect to buy what they want, how they want. So you need a commerce platform that's flexible, customizable, and crazy fast. Shopify Plus is built to handle the complexity of your business, so you can focus on your brand and deliver a seamless customer experience across every device, country, and channel. Save time by turning manual tasks into powerful automated workflows. Target key markets with local currencies and unlimited storefronts. Increase conversion with personalized shopping and checkout experiences. And sell out in seconds, knowing we won't hold you back. Partner with the best commerce platform.
And we're back with America's Podcast. What's the buzz? I'm the Mad Dog. She's the Pitbull. This is Conspiracy Week on WWTF Radio. Leon is in the chat when last we left off. The Olympic sign. Yeah, we believe that too. We believe. Oh, Ruffian's here.
Hey, Ruffian.
Hey, Ruff. My boy. We got to find what happened to the other boat. Brother, Leon just told you what happened to the other boat. It's at the bottom of the mid-Atlantic.
I think he meant the Titanic.
Oh, what, the Titanic?
Yes.
Oh, I believe the Titanic's in the port of New York. I really believe that. And if it's not, then it is. I think it's definitely here in America. I think it's here. I don't think it's in England anymore. Some people. What are your thoughts on this? We're talking about Conspiracy Week. I got one for you guys. Do you guys know the ship called the Queen Mary?
Heard of it.
You heard of it. I got to get you educated. I'm going to buy you a set of encyclopedias or something. Or get you cable or something. By the way, my wife is happy now because I got the cable back for her.
Yay!
Yeah, I cut the cable a couple months ago, and
I did get cable.
Poor Anita was driving herself nuts because she was living on her phone, But this is her time of the year, the holidays, and she likes the Hallmark Channel. And I said, you know what? My wife, happy life.
I did get cable, so maybe I'll watch more TV.
Get Leon to buy it for you.
No, I did get it. I did get cable. I do have it.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay, cool. We got to find out what happened to the other boat. The other boat, I believe, is here. Some people believe the Queen Mary, by the way, is docked on the coast of Southern California, I believe in San Diego. All right? I think San Diego. Amelia, while I'm talking, do me a favor. Check out, where is the Queen Mary docked?
Of course.
And I think it's San Diego. I'm not sure, but I believe it to be. If you look at the Queen Mary, very, very remarkably similar markings to both the Olympic and the Titanic. By the way, there's a reason for that. The Queen Mary was built by the White Star Line. Does that sound familiar? Well, it should. Go ahead, Neil.
Long Beach, California.
Long Beach. Okay. All right. There you go. And the interesting thing about that is that the Queen Mary, Moonchild, and the QE2 is, yeah, that's what they say. Leon, what about that? You think it's a real haunt? Because I'll tell you what I believe. I believe, and this, you're going to call me nuts, but again, I am a psychic anyway. I believe that the Queen Mary is very possibly the Titanic. We know it was built by we know it was built by the White Star Line. The other thing that's interesting, I think that ship captured the souls of those that were lost during when the Olympic sank. Because I'm just going to say, I think the Olympic sank, not the Titanic. The Titanic was brand new. Why would purposely sunk, by the way? They know now that ship was sunk purposely because there's not only the crack from an iceberg, but there's an explosion hole.
Oh.
If you look at that picture, there's a hole that looked like a bomb blew it out, and that's what happened. People on the ship that survived, yes, there were survivors from the Titanic. A lot of them, in fact. Survivors said when they were interviewed, they heard an explosion. Well, the White Star Line fluffed that off as the ship breaking in half. Problem, though, because this happened long before the ship broke in half. In fact, it may be the reason the ship did break in half. The explosion. Moonchild. I missed that. You know what? We missed you, Moonchild.
Oh.
A little girl drowned in the pool. Yes, we know about the little girl that drowned in the pool on the ship called the Queen Mary. Again, see, when you're talking about ships, folks, and I'm not a nautical expert, but it's real easy to change the name of the ship.
Oh, yeah.
And if that's the name on it, then that's what it's called.
So the iceberg was like an unhappy accident, quote, quote. Unfortunate.
Here's the funny part about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Mill. Here's the funny part about that. If that ship had hit that iceberg head on, guess what? It would have floated. It would have floated all the way to New York. Here's the problem. When you hit an iceberg like this,
right?
It's like a car crashing into another car, right?
Right.
You can still drive it away.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Now, you got a car going this way and a car going this way. You're going to get T-boned.
Right.
That's what happened to that ship. Okay? That's what happened to that ship. It got T-boned, and then rivets went, and they went all the way down like a big, like a, how you want to say it? Like, perfect example. Like a heavy person trying to get into a size 2 jeans. The seams are going to go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Rough. Could be used as a stage. Yeah, absolutely. Could be plausible. I try to catch a line when I'm awake and not working. I'll tell you what, we love having Moonchild. She's on YouTube, watching us on YouTube. Moon, you getting ready for work tonight? Is that what's happening? Going to work? I think she's trying to go get ready for work, and we're disrupting her evening.
Or she's just gonna stay home for tonight, probably. But yeah, I've been T-boned before, so I know the feeling and I know that effect. That's a painful.
See, Leon agrees with me. He thinks that the QE2 is the Titanic as well.
Hmm.
Remember something. Here's the one thing that connects all of them. All of them. Actually, there are two things that connect all of them. J.P. Morgan and the White Star Line. They were all built by the White Star Line. They were all financed by J.P. Morgan. At the time, you have to remember something. J.P. Morgan was the richest man on planet Earth at the time. He had more money than any other living person on Earth. His company is still around today.
Oh, yes, it is.
That bears his name, J.P. Morgan. And they're one of the biggest brokers in the world.
Yeah, I belong to J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now go ask them for some money and see if you get it.
No, I won't.
Yeah, good luck. You have to give blood to get money from J.P. Morgan, please. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding? Whenever the main president of the whole company, the main man.
Get well. Moonchild doesn't. She's sick in bed with migraine.
Oh,
well,
yeah, get
if
well.
it's any consolation, I know. Believe me, I know what the migraines are like.
Oh, yes.
I felt the wrath of the migraines.
Mm-hmm.
They're not fun.
They are not. No.
They are not. Here you go, J.P. Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Those you and Amelia bank at the same bank?
When we had the main CEO come to Tampa when I worked at Chase, it was like the president of the United States was coming because everybody had to be checked with the thing. I mean, everybody, and they had to check our purses, like if make sure that we weren't bringing any handgun knives. And I was like, okay, is the president of the United States coming? They're like, no, just the CEO of the company. I mean, we had to be checked.
Yeah,
everybody. And we had special things. We had to dress a certain way, make sure everybody was dressed nice. Because he went to every floor and I was like, hello, hello, hello. And he met everybody. I mean, he was really nice, but
yeah,
I was like, okay,
I'm going to share something that I've never shared on the air publicly.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work for Trump Industries. I met Donald Trump twice. The first time I met the now president, the now again president, we have to say former, but now again president, the 45th and 47th president. I worked for Donald Trump, and I met him twice. I met his late wife, Ivana, wonderful, nice lady. And the second time I met him, he remembered who I was. He remembered my name. He came in the building where I was guarding. I was the security receptionist. You had to get through me to get to him. Yeah, to get to him. When he walked in, he just went right past. He didn't stop for nothing. And there was a guy he had named, I don't even know if he's still around anymore. His name was Big Max. Big Max. When they called him Big Max, they wasn't kidding. Big Max was big and tough and strong, but a sweet, sweet guy you never want to meet, right?
Right.
I don't know what happened to. I had a dollar bill that Donald Trump signed for me years ago, but that was his thing. He used to sign money for you,
right?
And then you would put it away and hope that it brought you some luck. That's what people did. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the hell happened to that anyway. But I met Donald Trump twice. The first time I met him was the night of the Miss America pageant. And I met everybody and his brother that night. I met Rod McEwen. I met Jerry Vale, Al Martino, Bruno Sammartino, Joe DiMaggio. I met all these people in one night. One night. And I still have Joe DiMaggio's autograph and Bruno's autograph, too, by the way. The second time I met Mr. Trump, again, as I said, was nobody around. He came into the building. I said, and it was New Year's Eve. I remember it like it was yesterday. New Year's Eve, 1989. He came in at the stroke of midnight, 1990.
Oh, wow.
Okay? The stroke of midnight. He came in, and his guys were with him. He had one of these kind of guys with no neck.
Yeah, right?
Right? He had four of them. Because President Trump, he's a big guy, but he's not as like big as you think.
Right.
He's like 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was like over 6 foot. He's not. He's like 5'10". You know, I mean, he's obviously he's taller than I am because I'm 5 foot shit. Okay. But he came in. He goes, I said, "Happy New Year, Mr. Trump," and he goes, I'm trying to do his voice. He goes, "Happy New Year, Angelo. Have a great night." And he didn't say you're fired. No. I'm trying to. He has a very heavy New York accent.
Yes.
If you listen to him talk, you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's one of them New Yorkers that just talks the way he talks. He don't give a shit, you know?
Right.
Anyway, but that's my story. That's my Donald Trump story. Let's see what we got here in the, let's see here.
El Ruffian, I like that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, he used to work
I'm
for
enjoying
Bank America, too.
I've not heard this theory and caught the replay of the Benoit. Oh, man, let me tell you something. Oh, the Benoit show. I'm still getting emails. You know, like people don't, what do I do all day? I spend half my day going through emails, okay?
Sorry.
I'm not even kidding. I spend half my day going through emails early in the morning. I send my wife off to work. I come downstairs. I fire up the computer. And then I go through emails. And sometimes I get show ideas from it. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, they just want to bitch about Amelia. One, she never shuts up.
Be quiet.
You know? Let's see here. I use Wells Fargo because everywhere if I have to travel, absolutely. His hair makes him six. His hair makes him 6 foot for real. Trump is listed at 6'3", 250. That's not true, Leon. I'm telling you factually. I stood next to Donald Trump twice. He is 5'10". No more, no less. He is not 6 foot. And no, he does not wear lifts in his shoes.
He doesn't wear lifts in his shoes.
Sylvester Stallone does. Okay? Sylvester Stallone, I'm going to break kayfabe. Sylvester Stallone is 5'6". He is not 6 foot like people think he is.
No, he's short.
Sylvester Stallone is 5'6" without his lifts. He wears a specially made shoe that lifts him up almost 4 inches. Okay? Not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. In fact, maybe tomorrow night on the show, I'll show you Sylvester Stallone's shoes and why they're very special. My brother-in-law's here. Scott, this is your comic relief from the night, brother. My brother-in-law, Scott.
Laughing at
he loves to listen. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something. In my family, we laugh a lot.
Yeah, he's probably
You have to know his wife and my wife because they're sisters and they're both fucking nuts.
Either way, they're on my side.
Damn, this is already 10 of 8. Amelia.
Yeah, I know.
How the hell did this night go?
I think Leon's arguing with you again.
What happened?
I think Leon's arguing with you again.
Just Googling Trump listed.
Don't believe Google.
Don't believe Google. Because look, they still have Hulk Hogan listed at like 6'10".
And with hair.
and with hair, yeah. And he doesn't have, and he's not 6'10", and he doesn't have any hair.
No.
Hulk Hogan, legitimately, right now, he used to be 6'10". Right now, Hulk Hogan is 6'4".
Mm-hmm. He's shorter.
If you, he's a lot shorter. You know why? Back surgery.
Yeah.
They had to take half of his back out.
Yeah.
If you watch Hulk walk, watch him sometime. Watch him walk.
Yeah.
He walks like a 90-year-old guy.
My niece used to work for him at his shop here in Clearwater, so she'll tell you.
He's there a lot, by the way.
Yeah, she used to
He's
work
there.
for him.
Like he's not as big as people thought.
No.
He used to be, because I got a picture of Hulk Hogan,
Mhm.
and I had to look up like this.
Yeah.
Those damn leg drops. No, it got nothing to do with the leg drop. That's funny. Those damn leg drops. Let me see what Moonchild says. If you ever go to Queen Mary, take the real ghost tour, and they show you places that are supposedly haunted, like changing rooms. I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that, Moonchild. I watched a documentary some time ago on the Haunting of the Queen Mary, it was called. We do know factually a little girl did drown in the swimming pool. They know that. That's for sure. That's not you want to say that's not folklore or legend. That really happened. Rest her soul. But apparently that's the problem. Her soul is not rested. It's still wandering around looking for her mom and dad.
Wonder what happened to her.
What happened to her, and what happened to all the people? And she apparently she tries to communicate. She can see people. She can hear them. She tries to get their attention. You know?
Right.
I was actually asked to do a ghost hunt on the Queen Mary years and years ago, like almost 20 years ago, or more than, actually, probably more than that. 25 years ago, I was asked to, and I turned it down. And the only reason I turned it down was I didn't feel like flying at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
But I know one thing you will not do and mistakenly tell them to breathe to calm down.
Oh my God, please.
I'm sorry, that's too funny. I had to put that in there.
Yeah. Well, Neil, tell everybody what's coming up. We have a hell of a show tonight.
Well, we are actually just be doing some. We're just gonna be doing some conspiracy stuff all week. We're not really sure what we're gonna talk about. Just anything.
And that's like tonight. Amelia and I'm going to let you guys in on something. We weren't going to do a show tonight. We were going to just have a meeting and like go do a rerun tonight. And I said, you know what? I'm going to surprise Amelia. I'm going to surprise the people. I'm going to do a show, and we're going to do Conspiracy Week. All week long, we're going to do Conspiracy Week. So tomorrow night, we don't know what the hell we're going to do. We're just going to get up here and talk.
Yeah.
How's that shit? Hmm?
Yeah. And then also, too, just want to let everybody know that
why don't we do this? I'm going to do something. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me ask our guys while they're here. Moonchild's here. All of the heavy hitters. Moonchild, Leon, and Rosie are here. Ruffian's here. Let me ask you guys. I want to throw it back to you. What do you want us to do tomorrow night? What conspiratorial topic would you like us to do? You tell us and we'll do it.
Right.
We're going to try something different.
Yeah.
Because Amelia and I are tired of doing structured stuff.
Yeah.
Because it feels stale.
Yeah.
And tonight felt really fresh.
Real.
It felt real. Yeah, I like this.
But like on a serious note, though, I know the election's over with and we're still kind of like a little bit divided, but life goes on. We still are going to wake up every morning, take our showers, go to work, put gas in our car, go to the grocery store, buy groceries. I think we should just be undivided and just get divided again, and just life goes on no matter who the president is.
Get divided again? No, we don't want to be divided again. We want to be united.
That's what I meant. But
don't listen to Amelia. She's trying to divide America right now.
No, not divided. I meant united. But life goes on.
I know what you meant. That's why I'm here to jump
We're still putting our gas in our car. We're still gonna go to the grocery store. We're still
Yeah,
gonna go
I
to the
get what you're
restaurant.
saying, which is nice. But listen, folks.
You know,
What
life goes on.
hold on, Amelia, please. Hold on, please. Hold on. I got people over here I got to take care of. Hold on. Moonchild. Here you go. Oh, yeah, we did that already.
Yeah, we did that already.
Hold on a
That's
minute. I'm allowed. I'm the boss. I could do it.
Hey, and I'm allowed to talk too, since you talk so much, like you think I do.
Talk. You never shut up, for crying out loud.
I haven't said a word.
You ain't shut up all night. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Right.
So I'm waiting for you guys. What do you guys want to do tomorrow night? Tell me what subject you'd like to see. Oh, Moonchild's got a good one.
Yeah.
Do you ever do a show on deaths of William Desmond? Oh man, we could do that. We can definitely do that. Why don't we do that?
That's a funny one, Leon.
What do you say? Want to do that one?
Which one?
William Desmond Taylor or Olive Thomas?
It doesn't matter, whichever one.
Because you don't know who either of them are, because you're so young.
I'm laughing at Leon's because that one's funny. Because NFL fixed Super Bowl. Yes, that's the truth.
We can do that. Olive Thomas, I know that one. William Desmond Taylor. That's a story I know well. We can do that if you want. What do you think, Neil?
Sure.
You feel comfortable hitting that one on?
Sure. I just have to do some research on that one. Like you said, I'm too young.
I'm gonna smack you. Oh my!
He's gonna smack me, people.
For crying out loud, what this woman does to me. You guys don't see what I have to every week, okay?
I keep him young anyway.
Every week she does this to me. Every week it's like torture from the pit bull.
Yeah, he likes that. You know he does.
Oh yeah, I like me. Yeah, me and Moonshine. We like getting migraines. Yeah.
That's why I have to keep finding the erasable pens.
Oh my God. That takes stock in that company. Jeez.
I know, right? That's why I bought more. I bought another pack. I got extra.
This woman. Oh my goodness. What am I gonna do with you?
I have no idea. Give me a raise.
I'll give you. You want a raise? Stand on a phone book.
There you go. I might get taller.
Oh, for crying out loud. What else we got coming up? Is that it?
That's it for now, because we're going to be doing just nothing but conspiracy shows here on out, and we are conspiracy theorists because we told you so.
No, we're not conspiracy theorists. We're conspiracy truthers.
Because we told you so, because it's the truth.
What she's talking about, this goofball, what she's trying to say, folks, is that we have T-shirts that we're going to be wearing on air.
Oh, yes. We got
that say, would you be quiet for 5 minutes? This every week I have to go to. I have to fight to speak with this woman. Okay. She got us shirts that these conspiracy shirts. It's, you know how everybody now they identify as this. They identify like a guy who identifies as a cat and all this. Well, her shirts that she got us to say, I identify as a conspiracy theorist. My pronouns are told you so. And that's what she got us. And we're going to wear them tomorrow night. You know why? Because we can.
Because we can. There you go.
We can. Well, listen, thank you to my brother-in-law, Scott, for being here. I hope you had your comic relief for the night.
He probably did. He's probably laughing at us.
Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Anyway, this is what we got to do, folks. We got to say goodnight to you, because if I don't, we're going to get in trouble. We'll get thrown out of here. All right. Beautiful. Moonchild tomorrow night. William Desmond Taylor. All righty. Amelia.
Yes.
Send us home.
Good night, everyone. Let's go home.
Boy, that's the way to do it. Jeez.
Good night, everyone.
my
Let's go.